Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Navigator. This is the second episode of the year 2026, and with me, it's my sister, somebody very very close to me. I usually bring people that I know and we have relationship with. Uh, I think right now we've known each other now for the past no more than 10 years or get about, yeah. So her name is Mrs. Muyosola Okoye. She's a Yoruba woman and but married to an Igbo man. So, but I just want to at least allow her to introduce herself for us to actually know. Then we start from there. Thank you for having for having your time to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, actually, I think about it is about 10 years. So, yes, my name is Muyosola Okoye. What else do you want me to say? I am, I'm the first child of my parents. I read chemical engineering, but I really never practiced. I've been in the strategy space, marketing strategy, operations. I have about 25 years of experience. Oh, wow, that's long. I have about 25 years of experience. And I've worked in a lot of countries. I've traveled to probably about 30 countries, but I've lived in about 5 countries in total. So I think I have both local and global experience on a lot of things.
Global and local experience. That's awesome. At least for some time that we've known each other, there are quite a number of things that I see and that actually got me very interested in having you as part of our family. You are more like a sister to us. Um, and when I look at you, I see a lot of values that you are bringing on board. Sometimes I even ask myself that you're supposed to even be a man, a woman of God, but your capacity that you have and the quality of the kind of person that you have really, really, is good, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And having you to be part here is just for because I know there are a lot of things that people can learn and can actually hear from you. I discovered something because most of our invitees that we brought on board, some of them is not they actually what they're actually doing now is quite different from what they study as their foundation, their first degree. So it means that it is what is that? Because I know you have something to say about that. Somebody who study chemical engineering, right now where you are is different from the foundation at the practical your first degree where you are. So what actually led to that? Too?
Thank you. And thank you for the privilege of speaking to your audience. I think everybody's journey in life is different. And I feel like if you have flexibility of thinking and flexibility of mind, you go places, right? So what led to it? It was more a coincidence than planned. For me in particular, I finished school and I was very willing to practice engineering. But I studied in the Nigerian system where everything was who you know. I did all the stuff, all the distinction. I always got the distinction. When it gets to the final stage, either I'm not from the all producing state or I don't know somebody at the top. And I just went for a company that was strictly on merit. And that's how I started in FMCG. And initially when I started there, I was like, I'll be there for a couple of years, just 1 or 2 before I go back. But while I was there, I found a lot of opportunities that did not really, really they needed other skills to do it. And I thought, why not? I can do it. But one thing I discovered after a lot of years, obviously, because I've also seen lots of people that have been not doing what they studied, I started realizing that, when you go to school, they teach you how to think in a particular way. So if you study law, you're taught in a particular way to think. If you study engineering, there's a particular way to think. When you finish, the question is, what do you do with it? It's not about going to do engineering. It's about how do you apply now your way of thinking to a new thing. So because you study engineering doesn't automatically mean you'll be an engineer because you are still in the theory phase and you've been taught how to think. because you study law doesn't mean you'll be a lawyer. You can study law and become a company secretary. You can study law and even become a salesperson because you've now been taught how to think about administrative, about contracts, about even how to handle, compliance. So it's different things that you've been taught. And except you understand that, especially in this age, I feel like you can box yourself into a very narrow line, and it could be dangerous, for future growth.
Thank you. Because of that, I discovered that a lot of people, maybe now the thinking is changing, but practically people. I remember while I was going into the university, my intention was to go for accounting, and I was not actually accepted as an accounting student, so they gave me economics. So I felt bad about it. That why economics? I actually wanted to be an accountant. And my elder brother was like, an economics, if it is economics, is good, is wide enough. You can as well be an accountant afterwards, so it doesn't really matter. So the kind of mindset we had while back in maybe from secondary school going back to university is quite different. Maybe I think we need to start changing that kind of mindset. So like what you said, that you initially what you study is engineering, but right now you find yourself in kind of maybe product marketing and so quite interesting that you find yourself and you are doing well, because when I look at your profile, I said this is really really interesting. The last place that you work at, it's at Sabi Holding, and from what I read, as a global chief commercial officer, so it means that you oversee the company in terms of global
the commercial space.
commercial. So, and this is the company that is in terms of business value is about 1.5 billion. So you are not they are there. And when I look at all things that you've been able to do, like for you to have been traveled to almost 30 countries, lived in 5 countries, so it doesn't really matter where you are. You can actually live in France and work with other companies. So how were you able to do that? Because some people can't find it easy or maybe possible for you to be here in France and even working with a company outside France.
I mean, somebody has asked me this question before, and I think the question was even, how come you moved countries a lot? What were you thinking? And the answer I normally give is I wasn't thinking. I think if I was thinking and analyzing, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have done it, But I think what was the critical driver was always, I'm a very curious person, and I always say something. The major problem with us adults, why we don't grow, is because we are grown-ups. So we feel like we know we've grown, or we've outgrown. I'm not somebody that would tell you, I can't do that. Or, despite all my career achievements, I have zero issues starting from scratch. I have zero issues, saying I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. So what tends to happen is that the curiosity is what gets me to some places or to some things. So there are some roles that, in theory, I shouldn't even have started, but then it's just when it comes and it sounds good and there's a learning curve. So for the Sabi one, I always wanted to move into tech because I felt that was the future. I've been in FMCG. I've done digital transformation there. I've done a lot of work, let me say, in digitalizing, but I've not done work in really saying how do you build the technology of the future for work. So it has been an interest because I told myself, it's going to be the future, so why not? And when the opportunity came, there was even no title, there was nothing. And they said, what do you want? I was like, I don't know. I just want to be in the space and I want to learn in the space. And that was it. And they decided to give me something. And when I entered, I told my colleagues, I said, I'm here as a freshman. I'm a new graduate. And they all laughed, said, come on, what do you mean? And it was funny because there were so many topics that at a point in time, some of them said, you can't tell us you were never in tech, you're lying. I'm like, no, you guys took things for granted. I didn't. I was born in the midnight oil. You were teaching me stuff and I'll go back and read it and I'll check it and I'll do this. Why? Because I really wanted to be in the industry. So I always feel like the curiosity makes you to be childlike, and the more childlike you have, the more growth mindset you have, and the growth mindset will take you places. I don't know what next or what I'm doing, but all I just know, I know what I won't do, but I know that I'm totally flexible, in terms of what I'm willing to do.